Okay, I've started recording for your information. Good evening, everyone. My name is Johnson Mwala. I'm sure most of you know me, and for others that are watching us live, this is Safeoclock Health and Safety Workshop. It's an interactive workshop that we hold every Thursday by 6 p.m. Qatar time, just to engage in discussions, discuss topics chosen for the week, and ask questions and enlighten ourselves to increase our knowledge and refresh our memory. So today we are discussing how to improve health and safety culture. And we have one of us who will be leading the discussion today. Mr. Christian Oshomoje will be leading the discussion today. And after his presentation, others like Mr. Stephen David, Mr. Andrew, and myself will add one or two contributions, and we'll take questions from the audience and from others that will be joining later. So without wasting much time, I will invite Mr. Christian to go ahead, share his screen, and also start the discussion.
All right, good evening, everyone. And how have you been today? How was your day? My name is Christian Shemuge, and I'm a graduate member of IOSH, and I have been in the health and safety industry for a couple of years, precisely going to 17 years. And I'm going to be sharing my experience as per what we have for today, how to improve workplace health and safety culture. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, just a moment. Okay. All right. How to improve workplace safety culture. All right. Confirm you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So this is a picture I snapped somewhere while I was coming from a trip. And this, I'm not going to talk about it, but looking at it speaks volume. And this will be my safety moment. Having said that, let's see what we have for today. Just in the safety moments, and we're going to be looking at definition of safety culture. We'll look at the 3 elements of a safety culture and the 5 elements of an effective safety culture. We're going to be looking at the relationship between safety culture and performance. Then we'll look at indicators to assess safety culture. We'll look at the incident triangle and look at recommended best practices. We'll briefly look at the ice cream model and the versatile checkpoints on a safety culture. What are those are you going to be looking out for to see best practices? Then we'll look at behavior-based safety. We'll see a short video and look at 6 steps to creating and maintaining a safe workplace promotion. We'll see a brief quiz. I may not take that quiz. We'll just skip that. And then we'll look at benefit of safety culture. Having said that, let's see, stop, think, and act. When you imbibe this, you are able to be on top of your game, to stop for safety, look at what is being done, look at if it's well done in accordance with procedures, company procedure, and best practices, and think about a better way and more modern way of doing them, and then you act. Stop on its own is another topic for another day, which has to do with safety training observation program. This is another training on its own. Having said that, let's go on. Let's look at definition of safety culture. Safety culture of an organization is the shared values, attitude, beliefs, and behavior relating to health and safety. All right, see them, your shared values, how we do things around here. And it could be positive or negative. We'll look at the ingredient for positive and negative. For positive, people think that safety is important. That means they don't need to be coerced or need to be, pushed. They also consider safety in all management decisions. Anything they decide, safety is in such decisions. People work safely because they want to and not because they are told to. All workers are positively influenced by this peer thinking. And if you reverse this, the opposite is the negative safety culture you are seeing here. Let's go forward. Now, the three key elements of safety culture, we look at ownership and management buy-in. Now, if you engage and involve your work, your workforce, all right, and you involve them, you consult with them, all right, they take ownership, and then management is having to buy into best practices, what is acceptable globally, and then you see a robust core business operation and receive attention from all parties. Then employee engagement, consult with them, ensure that you get feedback from them. They have input in it, because when you have different view from different angles, then you have a lot of inputs that you now have to put together and have a robust workplace. Then environment of continuous improvement. When you keep ensuring that things are working in accordance with plan, if there are deviations, identify them by virtue of either inspections or audits, and then you make corrective actions, and then you keep putting things in order. Over time, your system becomes very, very robust, and it's meeting with a global trend. Now, 5 elements of an effective safety culture. We look at the core values for companies. What are their core values? These core values will help to drive them to where they are headed to, and what they stand for. What they stand for in doing what they are doing. Looking at integrity in their dealings with clients, their dealings with the environment they are, the people around them, and all of that. Then principles, their laws, their ethics, right? And they should be accountable. These elements are, if they are all embedded in safety management system of organizations, then you see on a positive light, they are moving forward. They are growing. Now, 5 tips for a safety culture. Let's look at these 5 tips for a safety culture. We'll be looking at being fair. You have to be fair, open, and honest. Value your people. If you value your workforce, then they see that, yes, you have their their interest at heart, then they work with you with all their heart. And then simple and repetitive in communication, ensure that everybody gets what is communicated, they decode it and they act on it. Measure the leading indicators and be positive, and also, do a reward that will help to boost your workplace. Then let's look at this chart. Management commitment. Of course, we know that if management is not are not committed, then health and safety is just we're just making noise, because they are going to be providing resources. What resources? The human resources, the financial resources, and the material resources. And this is key. Work pressure to ensure that you engage positively, put your workforce in the know, get them engaged, give them tasks, they're able to contribute, and you see that things are working. Reporting system, there must be an established line of communication so that everybody will be carried on along. Then safety communication, very key. Then organizational learning, of course, training is one thing that you keep doing. On the job training, expert training, specialized skills, and the rest of them. Training is core to ensure that you are able to help your workforce to keep abreast with trends, with what the law says and what is acceptable globally. Safety rules and procedure, your operation procedure and all of that. Workforce involvement, that is key. And then teamwork. What teamwork is can never be overemphasized in the workplace. And then supervisor commitment. We heard many things that have happened in workplaces just because there was, either inadequate supervision or there was poor supervision, and that led to undesired effect. Of course, companies series of money and loss of customers' goodwill. What are indicators used to assess safety culture? Let's look at those indicators, right? First, let's look at accident, the standard of investigation of accident. Is it, that do companies investigate accident? Of course, it's requirement by law, and also insurance also need to have that report before they can pay claims. Sickness rate. If the sickness rate is low, then you know that, yes, they have good safety culture. If it is high, then you know that it's on the negative side. Absenteeism, all right? Because of one illness or the other, people don't come to work. If it's on the low side, then you know that, yes, it's a positive safety culture. Staff turnover, do you hire and fire, or people don't leave because they know that they have their welfare is important to the organization and they are well taken care of. Compliance with safety rules. Workers complained about condition. What the organization do with those things? If you're on the negative side, then you know that the safety culture in that organization is very low. Now, influence of peers. When you put people together, what will happen? Some things will happen. What are those things? There will be interaction, all right? And then influence will be exerted. A hierarchy is formed, known as pecking order. Looking at norms and values of behavior are established. And then peer group pressure. And this is a good indicator for health and safety culture. And most times, peer group pressure are tools used to pressure management to enforce good safety related behavior in workplaces. Having said that, let's look at the next. Now, this is key when it comes to safety culture. Now, if you consider productivity at the expense of safety, of course, it's going to be an undesired result that you will be asking for. Let's look at the Piper Alpha and let's look at the BP Mercado prospect. Productivity was given consideration more than safety. At the end of the day, what happened? The loss was enormous, loss of life, and then they had to pay damages, claims, and were fined. at the time I made the presentation for ASSP in 2019 during one of their conferences, when I was talking about the BP Mercado prospect. Now, what happened was that there was an additional cost of $2 million that they needed to buy a piece of equipment, and they said, okay, that's too expensive, and the rest of that. At the time of 2019, when I did that presentation, BP had paid $64 billion in compensation, claims, and fines, of course, and for cleaning and recovery, reselling assets, and they have a 30 years window to pay. Now you look at it, $2 million and $64 billion, and they are still paying in compensation and all the other things they are doing. So you wonder, is it a case of penny wise, pound foolish? I leave that for you to answer. So if you consider productivity and you are not conscious about safety and the safety of your workforce, all right? If you have this, you have productivity, you put safety in it, and your workforce is safe, your work environment is safe, of course, you have good return on investment. But if, on the contrary, you consider productivity at the expense of safety, all right? The productivity is not equals to safety, is not equals to good practices and global best practices in managing health and safety. The big picture you are seeing here is the undesired effect. An example of this is the Piper Alpha incident. Happened July 6, 1988. 167 persons died as a result of some decisions that were taken that were not right. They had 61 survivors who went out of the safety training they gave them, and they will live to tell the story of what went wrong. And then 30 bodies were never recovered in that incident. And that has also changed the way things are done globally, but it's also a reference point. Now, there's this quote that says, safety isn't expensive, it is priceless. If you have a deep think concerning this statement, you know that, yes, it is correct. Safety is not expensive, it is priceless, because if you think safety is expensive, then try accident. Or tell that to BP Mercado prospect, they will tell you that, oh, if they had known, that additional $2 million would have been just the game changer. They will pay that money and not have to start paying up to $64 billion as of 2019. I know they are still paying, the money is going to go higher than that because they are selling assets and are also still paying compensation. Having said that, let's look at the incident triangle. The incident triangle, this is a 2015 update. It says, for every 189 near misses, you have 7 minor incidents, all right? And also 1 major. Take for instance, if you don't deal with near misses at this point, they are occurring and you're not reporting them. Of course, we saw that in the Piper Alpha. It had a lot of near misses. Operation was going on. Permit to work system was failing. Management of change was not followed. They didn't shut down while they were modifying the plant for the opportunity of exploring gas, and they had pockets of incidents near and there, and they were not investigated. And why that was happening, it got to a point, the inevitable happened. And like I said earlier, once 67 persons paid the price, and management was sued for negligence, and they paid compensation. In fact, they left that North Sea and stopped operations there, gave their license, and they left. Why? Because management failed to manage incident at this level. Because if you do it at this level, you have a good return on investment. You don't allow it to escalate to this and to this. Having said that, let's go forward. There's this quote that says by Don Brown, an incident is just a tip of the iceberg in a sign of much larger problem below the surface. And another quote says, safety is not an intellectual exercise to keep us in work. It is a matter of life and death. It is the sum of our contribution to safety management that determines whether the people we work with live or die. This is Sir Brian Appleton. Now, question: what factors could result in the deterioration of an organizational health and safety culture and hence safety performance? Of course, if you also bring the BP Mechanical prospect and the Piper Alpha prospect, you see so many things happen there. It cannot be that, yes, they give attention more to productivity, either they are ignorant of the law, or they don't even have health and safety advisor in their team, and even probably they have just for window dressing, just to show to the authorities that yes, we have, but what the advice they give, their reports are not taken into cognizance, and they just do things. And you see that they don't care for the welfare. They don't. They feel that production is much more important, and safety is time-consuming, it's expensive, and the rest of that. And we've seen from the past that it's a big lie, and the consequences, people are still, dealing with it. If you ask BP, they will tell you that they made a very big mistake not buying those pieces of equipment for $2 million US, and by now, those billions of dollars they are paying will be used for something else. Health and safety culture, let's look at an online self-survey. We have an acceptance culture, we have a reactive culture, we have compliance culture, proactive culture, and the rest of it. So for acceptance culture, let me give you a brief. Management doesn't know, they don't care. For reactive culture, management knows, but they don't know, they don't always care. In compliance culture, management cares, but they don't always know. And for proactive culture, management care and know how to improve. Then for mature culture, management knows, they care, and they measure. Of course, if you look at Nestle always raises the standard above the normal standard that the law of any country they are operating prescribed, so that they will be a step ahead of their game. They are proactive, they are always ensuring they are a step ahead to meet all the standards. And that has been a world-class record for them. Now, this also same culture of safety varies widely, involved in measurable, is measurable and can be improved. All right, culture process technology. We see the very low, measurable, high, and very high. And how is it in your organization? Just be sincere, just be true to yourself on what safety looks like in your workplace. And this brings us to the next thing, which has to do with global best practices that will yield the desired positive culture results in workplaces. And let's see that, what all that will be. Now, if you look at this, we see a tree or a plant. It has its roots, it has its leaves, and it has its flower. Given the right condition, with our elementary agriculture, we know that if you look at fertilizer, we have NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and calcium, and all the necessary nutrients that the plant needs. When those nutrients are available, you see the plant looks green, and the fruits or the fruits are, robust, and it's productive. All right. So also, given the right environment, enabling environment, management providing the right resources, human, material, and financial resources, and ensure that they are visible, they communicate, they engage with workers, they consult with workers, they consult with their rep, they listen to concerns and complaints. Then you have a robust and a healthy workplace. Now, let's go further. You see that tree again here, and the root of this tree, you see communication, leadership, and you also see systems and procedure. So look at work pressure, learning, resources, recognition, all right, training and competency. Of course, when you talk about competency, you talk about the skills, the training, the knowledge, ability, and the experience, all right? Workers' engagement, reporting and investigating incident, relationship. Of course, this can never be overemphasized. And risk management. When all these are done in the workplace, then you have a robust safety culture. The management commitment and leadership. Let's look at senior management, what they do. They must demonstrate commitment by, setting policies. They set their policy, they communicate it, they ensure everybody in the strata know what their roles and responsibilities are. Then they always set priorities. They must inspire and motivate. Their leadership cascades through the organization. All right, they are visible, they behave safely, they are involved, they are involved, and they attend the safety meetings. Then government organizations and the private sector should adopt what I call visible felt leadership. If they are visible, that means they come for safety tour, they do inspections, they do walk around, and they break those bureaucratic bottlenecks so that some things that normally go through procedures to get attention, they get direct and straight attention to break all those processes and those protocols and get those things fixed so that those concerns in the field that could lead to accident or incident are taken care of. Take, for instance, in 2019, a company, an iron smelting company, one of the operators fell into the furnace and died. If management had, be proactive to get listened to concern, on the spot check, and see that impending danger and is giving attention to, I think that man will still be alive today. So their policies must be felt around the organization. Everybody know that yes, their plans are working, and they must demonstrate leadership by influence, positively influencing their subordinates, and they carry them along to ensure a good workplace. So if the CEO is not safety oriented, forget about building a safety culture. This is a code. The CEO is not who is supposed to provide the resources. If it's not safety oriented, then you know that we're just making noise like drums. And the ice cream model. Now you see that the ice cream is sweet. This is the ice cream, all right? But for us to check if this sweet part, all right, is in all the organization, these are the internal part of it, right? Like that you come to a company, you see policy well gazetted, looking wonderful on the notice board. But when you go inside and probably ask questions and try to see their processes and all of that, you now know whether this sweetness you are seeing out here is not just window dressing, it is cascading through. When you ask those questions, you're able to know if actually the culture there is right. Now, let's read some checkpoints. 7 universal checkpoints to check for presence of safety. Now, the workers show awareness for safety. That means, have they been oriented? Have they been trained in safety related topics? Then let's look at how does the employer act? How do they carry out their activities when they get concerned? Does an OSH expert exist? Do they have safety advisor who is giving up-to-date knowledge about what global best practices are as per health and safety, and then they have the management system that works? How is social dialogue looks like? Then how is the training organized? Do they have a training matrix? Do they have gap analysis? does the company do safety prevention campaigns, like, for accident and incident investigation and all of that? How is the legal framework in the company like? This will help you to know if they are actually having a healthy health and safety culture or not. I will know that behavior-based safety has been a game changer in ensuring that when you modify behavior and you have a balanced action or method of engaging with your workforce, you have a good result. Because if you look at it, even the carrot and stick approach is also coming from here. If you modify behavior, you're able to give reward when necessary, you're able to recognize, you're able to carry people along, you're able to balance with administrative controls, looking at procedures and all of that, all put together, you're able to ensure that your workforce are being carried along. If you go about the authoritative aspect of it, and you don't carry, or you don't look at or consider other parts, then you'll be one-sided and it will not go well. So behavior-based safety has been a very good tool that has been used to modify safety behavior in workplaces. That is just a short video.
Every day, life can get in the way of your health. How are you helping your employees improve their mental and physical well-being? Maybe you think it's not your responsibility. However, your business could end up bearing the consequences. Not giving your employees practical and effective tools to better manage their health can easily lead to employee absence and presenteeism. For example, even if your employees are present, if they're working under too much pressure due to their job or their personal lives, their standard of work and personal health will be affected. In the UK, businesses have to absorb the effect of an estimated 190 million sick days per year. That's a lot of lost work and revenue. You can actively reduce the number of sickness absence days your business experiences. Impact consultants have a range of workshops, one-to-one therapies, publications, and physical exercise classes that companies have been using to successfully improve their employees' health, motivation, and productivity whilst at work. When you invest in your staff, here's what will happen. You will reduce your staff absenteeism. You will improve employee engagement. You'll get reduced staff turnover. You will increase employee motivation and productivity. Your team's morale will grow. You will lower your insurance premiums. Your concern for your staff will make your business more attractive, and high-caliber employees will be interested in your organization. The best way to achieve staff loyalty and productivity is to show you care about their well-being. Your staff members are unique, and they have unique problems, which is why we offer tailored solutions just for you. Even though we offer a custom solution for you, you will be amazed how competitive we are. Make your staff happier, healthier, and more productive. Get in touch now.
This is just a summary of what I've been talking about. And when you carry your staff along, then you're going to have a robust workplace with productivity top-notch, and your workplace is attractive to many to want to work in. Brian Tracy said in his book, Eat That Frog, he said, there is castration in procrastination. If you want to procrastinate and say you don't want to imbibe a positive health and safety culture, you want to improve a health and safety culture, then you will you will learn from BP McCandle Prospect story how they procrastinated in putting things right, and right now they are paying heavily for their errors. As I tie up and wind up, quality is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligence, direction, and skillful execution. It presents the wise choice of many many alternatives. All right. Yeah. So I want to just do a quick check, looking at risk perception, because it's also a healthy tool where when you talk about workplace and safety culture. Because if your staff have good knowledge of risk perception, are able to perceive risks before they occur, then you're able to close out a lot of things that could go wrong. And at the end of the day, you ensure your workplace, your workforce, your workers, your visitors, your contractors, and others are safe. Now, we'll be looking at improving risk perception in workplaces. You'll be shown the following slide for 20 seconds. You are asked to count the number of F in that slide. Are we ready? Please, if you're ready, just say so, and then I'll beep the slide for just 20 seconds, and we're going to count the number of F's in that slide for 20 seconds. So we're able to test our risk perception. All right, are we set?
Yes.
All right, so I'm beaming this slide now. So count the number of F's in this write-up. Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of many years. So let's count the number of F for just 20 seconds. Ten seconds is gone. $15 seconds is gone. And 20 seconds. How many F's did you count?
I counted 3.
I counted 3.
Okay, let's hear for more persons.
Abbas counted 6. 6.
How many people counted 6?
6 F from Harrison.
Harrison counted 6. Who else counted 6?
David counted 6.
David counted 6. All right, David and Harrison are correct. So you see 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
Thank you, David and Harrison. So 6 steps to creating and maintaining a safe work place. All right. I want to see those steps in ensuring that your workplace is safe. Just a moment. Yes, you must make sure all workers are properly trained. You ensure that they have proper equipment. You make safety fun. You eliminate potential hazards. You create a safety committee and ensure that the committee has the right persons that are should be there to help, draft their findings, the weight of the findings, the meeting they're going to be having, the weight of their decisions, and how who will be closing out their what concerns are being raised, how often they will meet, and the rest of them. And then provide visual safety and messages. Finally, safety culture benefits: reduction in accidents, fewer injuries, cost saving, lower insurance rate, increased productivity, improved public relations. And in conclusion, to tie this all up, if you have a better culture plus more safe behavior, looking at your behavior-based safety, all right, in modifying behavior, in having to change people by bringing in training that help to modify behavior, it will lead to positive mindset towards safety and well-being through the workplace. And that will ensure that the workplace is safe for all. So finally, to conclude this, your safety, my safety, our safety, safety of workforce, and whoever will come in contact with anyone in the workplace, is much too important not to understand. No matter how things are, safety is much too important not to understand. When you're making decisions, when you are, taking some actions, you must ensure that safety is considered. And that with that I say thank you for listening. And if you have questions or contributions, I am here to respond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christian Eshemote. We appreciate that presentation. It was very powerful and straight to the point. So,
welcome, sir. This
time now is for reactions, comment, contributions, and questions. So, I will, if you have question, comments, just raise up your hand and you have the floor. We have like 11 minutes more to wind up.
Yeah, let me say one or two things. If you can hear me clearly, but really, I've been having these crazy network issues within my room right now. So nevertheless, that's why I decided to just speak just briefly so that at least for those who can hear clearly before the network decide to mess me up. Yeah, Mr. Christians he has done a wonderful job. Okay, sincerely, I must commend your effort and your what you have said so far. It's very simple. For me, I just believe as a professional, these are the information with them why a safety culture, a positive safety culture should be promoted within an organization. Bringing out the cost and benefits aspect of it. Most of the time you have to do cost benefit analysis. You have to use this to convince them, because the truth is that when you have a positive safety culture within an organization, it's profitable. It's very, very profitable. You can't rule it out. It's just that one thing I believe is that most of those people within the top management is because they lack this information. So that is why we as a professional, we need to send this information to them. So it is how we sell this information that matters. When we are selling the information, we have to come out with data, to be able to convince them. Yeah, to be able to convince them. I would just say thank you very much. I believe my internet is giving me issue, but I would just want to say thank you very much for that wonderful presentation, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Christian. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Christian. You're welcome.
Mr. Stephen, we appreciate your contribution. Mr. Christian went in depth to give us the analysis, and above all, he gave us examples and real-life events that lack of improved safety culture costs a lot, and the company is still paying till today. So I'm sure that others here have a lot of things to contribute. So I'll give room for others. Who else is speaking?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Sandro, go ahead.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to commend Mr. Christian for the wonderful presentation. And it's well detailed and it's a learning aspect for me, and I believe for everyone here, and those that we watch the recording. So what I just want to contribute is for everything, he has given us the guide and the prospects, the benefits, and all, which is top notch. On The other aspect, from our experiences and my personal experience, I've come to learn, just as Mr. Christian have clearly stated, the leadership and the cascading of the safety culture is a very important aspect. Because sometimes when these whole procedures, the whole compliance measure are put in place, the people, which is the workers and the operative management team, did not invite in the rules. There can be a lot of flaws. So training, commitment and recommitment and retraining is very important in promoting the safety culture, because when the floor shop workers are fully engaged and involved in hazard identification and owning safety, so we have to encourage this to make sure that they own safety. Just recently, we find that just in my place of work, I'll use it as an example. I now realize that even the safety personnel is, we like call it a promoter of unsafe safety culture, if I will permit me to use that word, because he does not know the rules. You know, these are attitudes that can encourage unsafe work to the workers, which plays out. So I have to take a very drastic action immediately. I try to correct him, I call him to order, and he keep until it becomes a problem with the other supervisory client, which at the end of the day, we have to bring the workers together again and to retrain and even the supposed personnel who's supposed to promote the safety culture. So it is very good point of learning for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew, for that personal experience you shared. Workplace safety culture improvement has to do with knowledge as well. As a health and safety professional, you need to be well grounded in your field. You need to know exactly what you are telling the people. You need to know exactly what is the best practice in the industry at that moment, so that when you give them the recommendation or when you give the advice, they will not doubt you. And if you give a wrong advice, then the subsequent advice that will be coming up will be ignored because you've given a wrong advice previously. So we need to take time also to research, improve our knowledge, find out what is the best practice as per that activity. For example, working at height, you know, there was, it used to be if you are working above 1.8 meters above the ground level, then it's considered work at height. So as the definition changed and the work practice changed and best practice is changing, so we need to also improve our knowledge and our recommendation in the workplace. That is just an example. So what I'm saying in essence is that as health and safety professionals, we want the health and safety culture to be improved, but we also need to give an accurate advice. We need to give an advice that is accurate and is, all I say, is updated at that time, so that the previous advice will be given. If they were wrong, then the subsequent ones will not be taken serious. I will leave it at that for someone else to contribute.
All right, still on the subject matter, I would just like to share an experience today. It's just a coincidence anyway, but just to reiterate on, to show that lack of knowledge in health and safety, safe work procedure or system of work is could also contribute to a poor safety culture, like you have rightly mentioned. So today, as usual, we do have our daily coordination interface meeting for SIMOPS activity. So After taking the safety section, I saw the ERT manager just walked in to that meeting. So I knew I was the person he wanted to see. So immediately I finished sharing the safety consign brief with the construction team. Then I excused them. I went to meet with the ERT manager. So when I got to him, he was with one of the subcontractor supervisor. Then I asked, what happened? So he told me that this supervisor here told him that one of the HSE supervisor working under me gave them the go-ahead to permit their erectors, to step out from the top level platform, from a man lift, motorized elevating working platform at height of, let's say, 9 meters or 10 meters thereabouts, that he can step out from the basket, the platform, into the vessel platform. So I was like, so he just asked me. I was like, no, this is totally wrong. This is very unsafe and it's not allowed. For anyone who has good knowledge about working at height should know that this is a serious or a major hazard. It's not done anywhere. So I started accusing the supervisor. I said, why would you say such a thing? And you are mentioning the name of a safety officer that I gave you, the safety supervisor, I gave you the permission to do this, to carry out this unsafe act. So I was like defending for my supervisor. I never could believe that he could have, given such an instruction. So when we got to the work site, then I asked the safety officer of the subcontractor. He said the same thing, that it was that HSE supervisor who told them that yes, they can work like that, it's safe. I was like, no, no, this can't be, So I was trying to play it down. Then all of a sudden, I saw the particular HSE supervisor just coming in an hurry. When it gets to us, the ERT manager and his those that accompanying him, the permits coordinators and the rest. So they were very curious and they just asked him. They are locals, The ERT and my ERT manager and myself, we are the expert there. So they were curious. In their language, they asked the guy, did you permit these people, or did you tell them that it is safe to step out from the basket? And he was like, yes, because the basket, I was shocked. And sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I was just explaining that it's horrible.
Okay, no problem. So I was astonished, and I stylishly just, manage the situation, play it down, appreciate the supervisor and the safety officer that now they have even made me to trust them. They've built my confidence in them. But however, going forward, that this is actually not safe, then I try to explain to them the risk there. Imagine the process of trying to step and you missed your step or you lose this balance, you're coming down automatically. So what will be the consequence? What will happen? Such events could be devastating, The consequence I explained for them, then I told them not to do same. I just tried to play everything down. But when we left there, I was like, oh my goodness, this is as a result of lack of, knowledge on the worker side on these subjects. So I think just like Mr. Johnson has said, knowledge also plays a key role when it comes to improving the health and safety culture. It's a very broad topic anyway, but I think there is a strategy I use that is really working for me, just trying to influence, apart from top management, which is the key thing, getting their buy-in. If they don't drive safety, then of course, we are going nowhere. We cannot achieve anything. But apart from that, I think influencing the shop floor, which is the workers, getting them to buy into safety, we do a lot of good. We do a lot of good, sincerely. And apart from increasing their risk perception, what I do is I try to make every worker, irrespective of the company you work with, to see that safety is everyone's responsibility and everyone is a safety professional. Everyone is a safety officer of themselves. The only difference between me and them is maybe the color of the adult, the helmet I'm wearing. Then maybe perhaps I have one paper that I've tendered, you know, to take safety up in the site as a responsibility. But however, if they see any mistake, any omission, any deviation, they should please feel free to intervene. And while doing so, they should do it in the right and appropriate manner. They shouldn't see it as a means, you know, to get at their colleagues or their friend or something. Irrespective of the company, they should intervene, because when they intervene, they can be able to solve the problem, save that life, save the environment, you know, and whatever it is that could damage or cause it, that would cause a loss. But if we come in as safety professional or clients, whoever, then we will escalate whatever deviation, not compliance, you know, or violation. So I try to educate them, and I've seen how this has turned out in the site I'm managing. You know, I've seen huge improvement, you know, how we've drastically reduced the rate of incidents in the workplaces, how the workers are really turning up, how they are intervening when they see you not using that chain strap, reminding you when you're not putting on your safety glasses, reminding you when you're not using your hand glove, reminding them when barricade is not there, reminding them how they have made it an habit before starting the job, good housekeeping, and all those stuff like that. But it took time, you know, to get them to buy in, make them friend. And there's something most safety personnel I've seen in my construction site, they don't do. They actually tend to place themselves like, oh, I'm a boss. They don't want to come down to the level to make the workers see them that, oh, we are on same level, you know, catch them your friend. That way you influence them. You pass and drive the message home to them, you know, and teach them how to identify these hazards and the risk, and of course, to intervene to correct them in order to prevent any top events. I think I will stop here because of time. Thank you very much for this opportunity to contribute.
Yeah, just a quick one to add to what you just said. If workers sees you as a boss, coming to boss them, they get to kind of form a kind of wall, such that you can't go beyond certain level. And with that, there's information that you're supposed to have that you can't get, and that will help. That will have helped you to help proper manage workplace issues, hazard, and the rest of that. But if you go politely, see them as colleagues, then, you know, befriend them, but not compromising standard, you see that they will open up and you're able to intervene in issues. Like I had a colleague who usually don't wear hat. I made him my friend. Till tomorrow we're best of friends. And once I come, he knows that my friend has come. I need to ensure that I comply, and I don't want to hurt my friend. And he knows why I'm saying that it's for his own safety, and that of course his family are waiting for him to come home, whether it's money in his pocket or not, to come home safe before they ask, okay, what did you come with? All right. So a lot of people have taken decisions that led to their untimely death, and their family are in serious situations. So when you befriend your workers, your colleagues, you ensure that you create an enabling environment, you are accessible. It's a tool that you can use to win a lot of people to change, to modify behavior, and make your workplace safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christian and Mr. David. David, I appreciate that practical example of wrong advice from health and safety professional. So there are a lot of such incidents or such a situation that we've managed so far in our workplaces. If we start giving such different examples, will take a long time. So the idea is there are less experienced health and safety professionals, and in some situations, the employment goes in favoritism of your tribe, your brother, and all those things. So at the end, the workplace suffers it. So My own piece of advice in that regard is, as a health and safety professional, in as much as you are doing your own job, you also have to get feedbacks. Feedbacks is very, very important. Try to get feedbacks, try to seek an opportunity, create an opportunity to get feedbacks from workers. This feedback, especially this goes to especially those who are in managerial levels. This feedback will help you to assess your health and safety professionals like safety officers. Assessing them from your own perspective alone might not be enough. Maybe they will do the right thing while you are there. Maybe while you are there, they will present themselves as experienced and knowledgeable, but behind you, they are giving wrong advices. So feedback in the sense that you can create an environment for the execution team to tell you one or two things, how this safety officer it behaves, the type of advice he gives, if he's knowledgeable, if he's always there, if he's doing his inspections, not just to, how will I put it, not just for witch hunting, but it helps you to know what is going on in the site. Because as a manager, you will not be in the site all the time, but you need to rely on the guys you have in the site. And if they are not reliable, if you can't rely on them, if you can't be proud that somebody is there while you are in the office trying to do some documents, some paperwork, then the health and safety culture you are trying to build will be in jeopardy. So what I mean in summary is try to get feedback from the workforce to help you in evaluating your team. The evaluation should not just be dependent on what you think. Feedback from the execution team or from those in they interact with at the workplace will help you to evaluate and know where your team is going well or where you need to emphasize on their improvement. So that is that from me. If we have a question, we can take it now before we call it a day. Mr. Harrison, you are here today. Okay.
So,
Yeah, we've actually spent past our time. Mr. Christian, will thank you so much. One of these days, we'll bring you back again to lead us in different topic. We appreciate your knowledge, the knowledge you shared, and the time you inputted in bringing to bear this topic and all that you put together. We appreciate you and we'll say thank you so much. And to Stephen, David, Andrew, Harrison, Sunday, Festus, and all those who are present today, Mr. Gospower and Mr. Samuel, who else is here? Mr. White. So thank you all for coming. Next week, Thursday, we have a very powerful topic, environmental social governance. We'll be discussing that next week, Thursday. So I want to ask you to make out time to join us next week, Thursday by 6 p.m. I'll share the link and I'll share the link before then. So thank you all for coming and do have a nice day.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
yeah, thank you very much. And to Mr. Christian, thanks for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you all. So you can request for your certificate if you want one, so I will prepare it.
All right. Now. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.